This is going to be a quick video for War Thunder showing new players how the battle rating system works and kind of explaining it and giving tips and advice on what to do and what not to do. So let's get going. So you just started playing War Thunder, you see all these numbers underneath your tanks, and you don't really understand them that well, and they're not that easy to understand. Let's take a look at the best way to explain them to you. So, got this little sheet here. Basically, the highest vehicle in the lineup will be taken into account when you do a match. So looking at the example I have here, 7.7 is looking to be what is going to be the BR that I am matched around. You can also see at the top of the screen, it'll tell you right there what your highest BR is as well. Based on that knowledge, I will be +1 or -1 of 7.7. So I could be as low as 6.7. I could be as high as 8.7. Now, it'll only be a 1 BR difference no matter how we do it. So that'll determine when I get into the match. It could be, an 8.0 match, an 8.3 match. Basically, with that, if it's 8.3, that means it goes down to 7.3. It's a one spread. It's only going to go one down or one up from the match BR. So that's always important to know. Another thing you want to do as a new player as well is always try to make a full lineup, not just one tank. So a lot of people, they'll do one, maybe two tanks in a BR, and it won't have any purpose. They have one life and they're done. The more tanks you have, the more lives you have, as long as you do well. Keep in mind this guide is for ground RB. Some of it can be applied to arcade. Some of it can be applied to, obviously, planes as well if you're playing arcade. But realistic planes, you only have one life anyway, so you don't really need to build a lineup. If you look over here, like my Russia lineup, 7.7. I got three 7.7s, a 7.3, a 7.3, 7.0, and then I got a plane. Some of these are premiums. I use a lot of premiums to supplement some of the lineups. Probably what Gaijin wants you to do anyway, and that's why they exist. But that brings me to my next topic, which is an ideal lineup. So an ideal lineup would be something kind of like this, where you have at least 2 or 3 tanks within, 0.3 BR, maybe 0.7 BR of each other. So as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks, technically 5. Then I have a plane for close air support, and then I have AA. So that's going to be really good. For Germany, I kind of have a different thing. Notice these planes are a little bit lower. That's because I don't have a lot of German aviation unlocked. Planes don't really have to be the BR that you're using. They can be like 1 or 2 BRs down and still be pretty good, especially if you're just going to ground pound with them. But as you can see here, I have another pretty full lineup of vehicles. I don't just have 1 or 2 to spawn in. And that, like I said, that's very important. A lot of new players don't do it. Even a lot of veteran players, they just don't care. They just go in with 1 tank, 2 tanks. They rush, they die, they go to the next match. They cause their team to lose 9 times out of 10, and they have a bad win rate because of it, and they have such little impact. They might get 1 kill, and that's it. They don't really make a lot of money, make a lot of research. So that's why it's important to have multiple tanks, multiple anything, so you can have multiple lives to do things. You can spawn, at least if you're doing all right, 4 to 5 times in a match. You should at least have 4 to 5 vehicles, 4 to 5 different things to use. And then the other thing is a lot of people, they have a big BR difference between what they bring in. So, they'll bring in, let me see if I have a lineup for it. Yeah, this might kind of work. So they'll bring in like 5.7, but they'll also bring in like a 4.7 tank or a, even lower. And it's like, you don't really want to be 0.7 beyond what you are, unless it's like SPAA. Because really, you don't get a lot of choice with those. And eventually, once you get far enough from it, you might as well not even use it. Like for France here, if you look, I don't even use this 4.3 SPAA because 8.3 is the next one, and I'm at 7.7, and I just don't care to use it. It just makes no sense to me. Also, filling out your tech tree is another really important thing. Don't just beeline it down the tree. Like, fill it out, get it all. You don't always have to get everything, but at least you have enough to where you can make lineups. Look at the BRs of what you're researching and make sure you're getting ones within the same lineup instead of like ignoring. Like in France, you could ignore pretty much this whole TD line if you really wanted to. You only need like 5 tanks per. So, but then that's gonna screw you over in the higher BRs when you need that stuff, So I don't know. This is just my opinion. This is just advice that's worked for me, and I've seen a lot of other people kind of say the same thing. So I just wanted to put it out there for new players to help them kind of understand and get an idea of like what to do to help them be successful in RB tanks. So if this guide was helpful, please let me know down below. Appreciate any and all feedback. If you guys have any, different opinions or different ideas that help with the BRs and help people understand them and get a good lineup going, please let me know down below. Thank you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later!